Okay, let's talk about how to increase retention rate and escape the dreaded recruiting rat race that 95% of trucking companies are participating. And how can we instantly attract drivers you actually want to work with? And I'm not talking about the magic trick that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I'm talking about stuff you can repeat with the consistency, predictability, and confidence. You can do all of that without stuff that you hate doing, like posting on job boards, spamming social media groups, buying more ads, and paying recruiting agencies for the driver. In this video, I would like to talk about things that 1% of trucking companies do, how to predictably grow your fleet fast, cost effectively, avoid pitfalls everybody else repeat over and over again. And I will show you all of that right here and right now. By the way, if you will have some questions while you watching this video, there is a chat box somewhere here on the side. You can just type whatever you have in mind and I will reply back. Okay, so what is that thing that only 1% do and everybody else avoid? I would like to talk about power positioning. It's desire plus value plus scarcity. If drivers don't see value in working with you, they probably will not, right? And if they don't see any scarcity or urgency, a good reason why should they join you right now and not the next month or maybe sometimes in the future, they will not react fast. So you would have to wait. And by the way, keep in mind, good drivers, they are not browsing job boards. They are working. And we will talk about this a little bit later in this video on how to find those good drivers and how to make them join your company fast. The goal is to maximize demand and to minimize supply. So you could choose who you actually want to work with and lower your driver's acquisition cost. When we nail down a positioning, we can command our terms because drivers need you more than you need them. But if we are doing it wrong, completely opposite happen. That is just simple economics. Demand is high and supply is low. And keep in mind that no amount of marketing will save you from poor positioning. I'm seeing this mistake companies make all the time. I need more ads, I need more content, I need more phone calls, more posting groups, more this and that and the other. This is just a lot of noise and waste of time. If your positioning is not dialed in, if it's not clear to the driver why should they work with you and only you, you will just waste a lot of time, money, and energy. Another thing I'd like to mention here is leadership marketing. Drivers only want to work with those who have the highest degree of reputation online. The business is not the same as it was before. Like, you know the guy, he knows the guy, and that guy knows another guy, but not anymore. They actually check in you online. They will Google you. So if you spend money on ads and generate some leads, it's just another losing game, and you don't want to play that game. Because what do? They fill out the application first, and then they go to research your company online, okay? Now, quick note about me. Well, you don't need to know a lot about me, but a quick introduction will help you understand why should you listen and why should you even bother. Anyway, I'm a co-founder and the owner of the company BFG iTech, but it's not just me. There's a whole team of experts, and we've been helping trucking companies for years now, but not the way you think. So me and my partner Alex, we used to work in the trucking company with about 400 trucks in Chicago, Illinois, a couple of years ago. So we were managing a marketing team and a development team. That's when we really dived deep into the trucking world. What we noticed back then, the company was wasting way too much money on employees who honestly didn't do much, specifically recruiting department, but not because they were terrible workers. It's just because they were not trained properly and they had no idea what should they do to bring in more results, right? And this is actually not the worst part. This company had something going on. Even if they were wasting a lot of money, they still were moving forward. But when we started our own companies, we noticed that almost 90% or even more don't do anything to increase their retention rate, to lower cost per hire, to grow their drivers waiting list, and more importantly, to grow their fleet. Long story short, I don't want you to waste a lot of time listening to all of these stories. We can talk about this on a call, but for now, let's talk about stuff that actually helpful. The only reason why I'm telling you this, so you could just understand we are not just another marketing or recruiting agencies. We've been there, we've done it, and we know what are you dealing with. So let me finish this by saying we love our customers, and I mean it. If we have to work extra hours on weekends, we do, okay? I was going to show you a couple of case studies so you could actually see what we've done for our clients, but I don't want you to waste a lot of time on that. You can do it on your own. You can just go to bfgitech.com, click on the case studies, and you will see what we've done to our clients, what kind of clients we work with, so on and so forth. I just want you to get value from this video as much as possible. And this is not what we've done. This is what can you do in your business. So first thing first, how to get qualified drivers and grow successful trucking business without using job boards or recruiting agencies. Most trucking companies are like people who try to put water into a leaky bucket. Everybody understand you don't put the water into a leaky bucket because why? It doesn't make sense, right? But people still do. And they buy new trucks, they look for new drivers, but very often for every new driver you find, one or two leaves to another company because they offer him a better pay or a bonus or something else. And this is just one of the most common mistakes people do. That's why I would never recommend you to buy more trucks before you have your retention issue fixed. Or don't even advertise before you fix your retention rate, okay? At this point, you have to stop doing the same thing that everybody else does. You have to stop trying job sites. You have to stop trying recruiting agencies, marketing agencies, and wasting time on the phone with unqualified drivers. Even if you are going to use job sites, you should ask yourself a question before you're going to post anything on social media or job board. What kind of driver you want to work with? Driver who changed the company one after another? Driver with or without experience, with the hazmat endorsement? And where all of those good drivers congregate? Specifically good drivers who's not jumping from one company to another, right? And I'm not going to tell you the secret, but all of those drivers, good drivers, they are actually working. They are moving loads. And the best drivers are not browsing job boards. And later in this video, we will talk about this a little bit more, but let's just focus at one thing at a time. Recruiting agencies. I'm pretty sure you know that recruiting agencies work with other trucking companies, right? Now, think about this. They find a driver, and what they're going to do with that driver? Most of the companies, trucking companies, they run the same lanes, have similar pay rates, and want the same kind of driver. Who do you think those recruiting agencies is going to send this driver to? To the trucking company that has the highest pay rate, or to the one that pays the most money, right? So if you are not paying the highest, you're never going to get the driver. And it's not only expensive, you just have no control at all. And marketing agencies. Most marketing agencies don't even know how the semi looks like. They have seen it only on the highway or on the street. They have no idea what they actually need. And you don't need just more leads or more impressions on social media. You need more drivers because you want to know when should you buy new trucks. And you want to be confident that there are drivers waiting for those trucks, okay? And you don't want those trucks to stay on the yard and just collect dust. And you want to stop wasting your time on calls with unqualified drivers and answering millions different questions. What color is your truck? Do you have a microwave in it? What tires you guys using? Do you have a pet policy? How do I get paid? And stuff like that. And what you want to do instead, you want to answer these kind of questions before you talk to the driver. So as I promised to show you where good drivers congregate, I want you to ask yourself a question before I do that. I mean, it's not a secret or anything. It's pretty obvious actually. But ask yourself this: where is a driver most relaxed, fed, and has some time to watch TV or social media, time to think, and more importantly, to talk? Right? So at this time, when the driver is relaxed, you want to show him your ad on social media apps, because they use social media between 3 to 5 hours a day, if not more. And by the way, keep in mind, there are a lot of competition for drivers on social media, but everybody doing the same thing over and over again, which is good for you because it's not that hard to stand out from the crowd. Everybody offers the same pay rates, the same sign-up bonuses. But before you spend even $1 on advertising, you should understand those two things. Driver's roadmap before he joins your company and driver's roadmap after he joins your company. You see, not everybody who noticed your ad on social media ready to start working with you right away. But it doesn't mean they will not join your company maybe later this month or a year. They might, but for this to happen, they have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you, and maybe learn something valuable from you. And I'm not talking about how to change the tire, but for example, tips on how to get approved and buy their own truck, buy their very, very first truck so they could make more money, for example, right? I think it's pretty helpful. And you better share your experience with drivers as much as you can, because it works. And why it works? Because every experience you had in the past can help them in the future. And in the end, you want to challenge them. You want to offer them something they were stupid to say no to. And you want to do that by using urgency and scarcity. This roadmap makes it easy to establish your company as a premium choice for drivers and the only one choice on the market. And also it will help you to know exactly where and when your next driver should be coming from, and when should you put him in the truck and when to put him on the wait list. Now let me tell you how can you qualify drivers 24/7 without hiring full-time recruiters. And I'm not saying recruiters are bad and you should not hire them. Not at all. I think you should. It just depends on the size of your company, and it doesn't mean it's super necessary, especially if you're just getting started. And there's a way to avoid that. And I will tell you this right now. It's actually pretty simple. So I'm talking about the automation. You can set it up once, and if you do it properly, you don't have to worry about it for a very long period of time. Now let me explain what automation actually is. So it's a workflow of automated sequences. If this happened, then that. For example, if driver saw your ad and he filled out the application, and before he did, he already answered the questions like, do you have 2 years of experience? Do you own a truck or trailer? What have you, right? And then after he filled out the application, you received a text message on your phone that you got a new lead. He got the message that someone will reach out to him shortly, right? And stuff like that happening constantly. There are many different things you can automate. For example, you received the lead, right? And you call the guy, and it just happened that he does not have 2 years of experience that you need. He has 1.5. And you can just move him to the wait list, right? And it automatically would send him campaign 6 months later with the offer that you will have, right? Isn't it cool to have stuff like that automatically? You don't have to do anything. Don't even click a button. And automation is very good for the follow-up campaigns. Like I mentioned before, some people making decision instantly, and for some people it's not enough to see the ad one time. It's not enough. They want to learn more about you, what do you guys do, and it's the simple way that you can set up once and forget about it forever. You can set up a campaign for a couple a month. It will send them emails, text messages, voicemails, everything that you have, video reviews, everything about your company, what you guys offer, and it basically will talk to them instead of you automatically, and you don't have to even click a button, right? So this is a very good way to save time for your recruiters or for yourself. Okay, now let's talk about how can we seat all your available trucks immediately, whenever you need it, and by spending less than 30 minutes a day. You just have to collect your database, your driver's list somewhere. And the reason why should you collect your driver's list, your contact list of people who fill out the applications, because whenever you need it, you can just go in there, you can just pull it off and make the offer, and boom, your trucks are on the road again, right? And you just don't want to spend money on ads all the time, because, for example, you collected 10,000 of drivers for the past couple of years, right? And you have 5 trucks staying on the yard at the moment. You can just launch the campaign. A couple of people can just raise their hands. Yes, I'm ready right now. I can start next week. So by having a wait list like this, you'll be able to solve issues like empty trucks effortless and not spending much money on advertising, right? Now, how to build a wait list like this? Well, if you paid attention to what I was talking about, I already mentioned a couple of those stuff. We talked about driver's roadmap before he joins the company. We talked about advertising, about automated filtering, about qualifying process. What I didn't mention though, where should you be collecting this data? And what should you use for all of those processes that I mentioned before? So it's a CRM. This is a software that will help you manage all of your driver's list and all of the processes that I mentioned before. I will talk about this a little bit later in the video because I have a really, really good bonus for you. But now, please tell me that you don't want the pipeline like this. Now let me actually show you the pipeline from the inside so you don't think this is fake. This is the screenshot. This is our CRM that our clients use. I'm not gonna go too much into the details. You can go to the website crm.bfgitech.com and you can find all the details, the features and stuff like that. And so in here, they can manage all of those processes I mentioned before. They can automate the follow-up campaigns, and they manage the conversation. They can listen to phone calls. They can look to the messages on the Facebook or Instagram or emails, text messages, and stuff like that. So this is the software that actually help you manage all of this workflow and make it easy to control all of the recruitment process. So you could spend less time figuring out what is wrong, because now you can open the CRM and you can see what's wrong. Either the Facebook campaigns are not delivering, or other platforms, or you can listen to phone calls and you can tell to your recruiter, hey, you don't talk to the driver like that. At this point, you're probably asking yourself, how do I copy and implement everything you just told me? It must be hard, painful, and very expensive. Coders, developers, designers, copywriters, ad experts, recruiters, and managing all of that every single day to have a pipeline like this, right? There are lots of moving parts involved that make it all looks complicated and make you confused. But trust me, it's not. Now let's sum up what we talked today on this video till this point. We talked about power positioning, we talked about leadership marketing, retention rate. You should fix your retention rate before you spend any dollar on advertising. Where good drivers congregate, social media, Captain Common Sense. We talked about driver's roadmap before he joins your company, driver's roadmap after he joins your company, how to qualify drivers 24/7 without hiring full-time recruiters, how to seat all of your available trucks fast. And the last thing I would like to add up in this list is speed. And what I mean by that is if the driver fill out the application today, he must get the answer fast. And there are plenty of headhunters who want that guy in their company right now. So there are only 8 things that you need to do. Is it hard? I don't think so. Can you manage your social media? Can you ask a couple of drivers to give you video testimonials if they are happy to work with your company? And I'm pretty sure plenty of drivers happy to work with your company. Can you start using CRM so you could collect your database to collect every single phone call that you get, to create your wait list for the drivers? But it's like learning piano. It's pretty hard to learn piano if you do it on your own, but it's much easier if you have someone in your team who know how to play a piano. Now, think about this. When other trucking companies will keep posting on job boards, spamming groups, paying recruiting and digital agencies, increasing their pay rates and offers different kinds of sign-up bonuses. Instead, you can increase your retention rate. You can forever get out of that recruiting rat race and take full control of your marketing and recruiting processes. And you can take your trucking business to a completely different level. And I'm talking 10x. And trust me, it's possible. And you can repeat those things with a consistency, predictability, and confidence. Now, let's do the math here. The average cost of empty truck is $22,000 per month. Can be much more than that, but let's keep it low. And let's say it's $20K a month. I would say it's a lot of money you can use for a good cause. Now tell me, how much 2 trucks will cost for you? Is it 40 grand? Is it 50 grand? And how much 10 trucks will cost for you? So at this point, we can give you a fish or we can teach you fishing. So you could do everything yourself all the time. But the problem with this, if we give you a fish, you eat once and you stay hungry. If we teach you how to fish, you will starve to death before you learn. Or we can do both. And that's what we do. So if you want to get the simple step-by-step process, book a call and I will show you exactly what you need to do. No hype, no big claims, just a real clear step-by-step process you actually can follow. On the call, we can build profit cycle formula together specifically for your company so you can generate consistent flow of drivers from the internet to make your website, social media, and what have you actually profitable. Now tell me, would you like to get more drivers, automate all of these processes so you don't have to waste your time, increase your retention rate, and 10x your fleet? If the answer is yes, click on the button below and I will show you what you need to do. On the call, we will talk about who are you targeting, how are you positioning yourself, what is your offer, and how are you getting in front of right people. We will help you to identify specific obstacles that stop you from getting better results in your trucking business. And as I promised, bonus, we will give you free monthly trial of our CRM. If you forgot what the CRM is and how can it help you, let me show you something real quick. Let's say you have 5 trucks staying on the yard and you need 5 drivers yesterday. So what do? You go into your CRM, into your drivers list, and let's say you have 5,000 of drivers in your wait list. So what do? You filter your drivers. Let's say you need a driver with 2 years of experience, and you check the amount of drivers you want to send the campaign to. One click and done. You just need to set it up once and it will automatically send the text messages, emails, voicemails, what have you. Do you think it will help? I know it will. Now let me tell you who is this for. This is for those who own a trucking business, small, medium, or big sizes, regardless if you have only 1 or 2 trucks. And if you're not paying the highest CPM, if you're not offering huge sign-up bonuses, and this is for those who are just getting started, who want to grow successful trucking business without problems 95% of trucking companies face. And if you want to do it right from the beginning. And this will not work for you if you don't want to grow your business and if you don't want to grow your fleet. If you want to leave things the way they are, it's fine, but it's just not going to work for you. Before you go, just imagine for a second, how would it feel to have a full pipeline of drivers who raised their hands and showed interest in working with you? So whenever you need a driver, you just Reach into your pipeline and grab one. How would it feel to be able to choose who you actually want to work with? Stop worrying about the retention rate, because drivers happy working with you and know what kind of future is waiting for them in your company. Now tell me this, would you like to never see an empty truck in your company again? Would you like to grow your trucking business without wasting years of time and thousands of dollars to figure things out? And tell me, what are female drivers worth to you? Is it $20,000 a month? Is it 60? Is it 200 or more? Now I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you want to talk more about this, I invite you for a 20 minutes consultation call. It will be me or someone from our team or all together. On the call, we will identify your problems. How are you positioning yourself? What is your offer? And how are you getting in front of the right people? And only if you are looking for our help, we will discuss what the partnership with us might look like from a strategic level and whether it's right for you. And what's even better, if you decide to work with us, you will start seeing results of our work in as little as 2 weeks. Otherwise, there will be no sales pitch, no sale, no strings attached. We are happy to have a conversation with you and help you get clarity on how to get better results in your trucking business. If you want to do that, book a time on the calendar. We are looking forward to speaking with you.